Welcome back, scholars. So we are going to be talking about main body paragraph number 3 and writing main body paragraph number 3 out. So we have thus far went over our reasons 1 and our reasons 2 from our controlling idea. And we can see that everything connects to our controlling idea, and we want our third body paragraph to connect to our controlling idea as well, because when you're writing an essay, the purpose of the controlling idea, your essay, the purpose of it is to prove your controlling idea. You have this sentence that you are trying to prove. You're trying to prove your claim. So we are writing our third main body paragraph. And we see that our third reason says that leaders have the ability to face opposition head on. So I want to connect that to courage and opposition. So I'm going to say that leaders have courage in the face of opposition as my topic sentence. And also this is a part of my controlling idea, so I'm going to highlight that in blue. We are seeing how it's all connecting. Now, what else do I want to say? Well, what is opposition, first off? Opposition means to oppose or to be opposed to. If I look at the definition of opposition, I'm just going to put the word in. Means resistance or dissent expressed in action or argument. Opponents. So resistance, oppression, that type of thing. It's opposition. So that is what I'm speaking about. So there are many different types of opposition. So I'm going to say there are many types of opposition we can be faced with in life. Now, I need some type of an example, and I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to use. I've used the historical example. I've used a personal example. So what do I have left? Well, I'm going to go back to my reference. Here, I've given you a reference, given myself one. I'm going to look. And I have a pop culture reference that I could use. So I could talk about music, art, literature, books, movies, fashion, dance, technology, television, radio, news, sports, politics. So I think when I think of somebody who has faced quite a lot of opposition and who is a leader in the present time, I think of Ben Carson. So I'm going to write about Ben Carson because he also wrote a book, and I can reference that book. He wrote the book Gifted Hands, and I'm aware of that. So First off, I'm going to look up Ben Carson. So it says here that he is a retired neurosurgeon. I know from reading the book Gifted Hands that he is actually a retired pediatric neurosurgeon, author, and he is the former United States Secretary of Housing and Urban Development. So I'm going to mention that so that I'm showing my audience that I am using a credible source. That means that when I use a person, especially, you want to show them as being a credible person. So I'm going to say Ben Carson, a former top pediatric neurosurgeon in the United States and former U.S. Secretary of Housing and Urban Development, was faced with multiple oppositions growing up. Now, how do I know this? I'm going to say in his book, in his autobiography, Gifted Hands, Ben Carson describes growing up in Detroit in extreme poverty. He also grew up with a mother who only had a third grade education. He was not a gifted student. He also faced the opposition of racism. I know all of this because I read the book. Now you can use a book that you are aware of, or a movie that you are aware of, or a TV show that you are aware of, as long as it supports what you're trying to say. So I'm going to say, yet in spite of the adversity and opposition he faced, he continued courageously moving forward, and successfully overcame in the face of opposition. I don't know if I like that. I'm not sure that I like what I just wrote, because I want to note that he didn't just overcome it. He's become an amazing success story. So I'm gonna erase this part. And I'm gonna say, you know, although the odds were stacked against him, Ben Carson courageously faced opposition and adversity to become one of the greatest success stories and well-admired leaders of present time. That kind of drives it home for my audience. It also makes a point to show that I'm speaking about one of the greatest leaders. It also helps because I'm talking about leadership and courage, and so I'm driving that point home still. So that is my third body paragraph, where I used a pop culture reference of a book and help support my essay and prove my controlling idea. Until next time, where we will talk about our conclusion. Have a great day.